So where do they get the money to make movies? All right, so you ever seen where it says Columbia Pictures or Sony Pictures or Touchstone Pictures? You know what I'm saying? Those guys are banks. And so Columbia Pictures, you pitch them your screenplay, you're pitching what your idea concept is, and if they like it, they will either buy the screenplay and produce it themselves, or they believe enough in your ability, they'll say, "Hey, listen, we'll give you $3 million. That's your budget, right? That counts, paying for the crew, locations, catering, sets, all that. You got 3 million. Now, um, now this is where they talk about when a movie can go over budget, under budget, or stay at course on budget. Now it's a loan. They give it to you. They give you, sound stages, whatever you need. All that's encompassed in that 3 million, right? Now it is the reason why they're giving this 3 million because they're believing this movie is going to make more than 3 million. So it is up to you as the filmmaker, as you get on the as you go into production and everything, then it goes into marketing and it goes into promotion and all this other stuff. Typically, if they're pumping you high, they believe that you got something. So having a name attached to it helps promote the movie, or having this sort of unique concept. A lot of times they may have a bunch of producers on there like they did with him. Jordan Peele didn't. He was never on set there. He didn't. Wasn't involved in the editing process. He liked the idea, he liked the screenplay. He might even seen some of the cuts they were doing, but they put his name, Jordan Peele, him, and they were using Jordan Peele's name and Marlon Wayans' name to be those to draw people in. And so, even though he would then direct it, wasn't involved in the product, he was the producer of it. And so sometimes they'll do those things where they'll put a well-known name as an EP and what's means executive producer to draw in money. All right, so it'd be like John Carpenter presents. He's a producer. He's presenting this particular film, and so those sometimes directors' names carry weight, and people will go out there because they all they see is Jordan Peele him, and they'll associate that he did this movie and he did it. So it's a misdirection, but it's a way to boost it up because they have to try to make that money back. And a lot of times they go and they'll show the film to certain people in private settings and see how it scores, and then they'll go in there and tweet things out. Okay, let's take this out. We're gonna add this in. That's why in I Am Legend they changed the ending because people didn't like the ending, even though the ending was book accurate. They changed it for people because they thought it would hinder them in the box office. And so a lot of times, when you come out with movies, they have early reviews that happen like 2 or 3 days or advanced showings and stuff like that. And those reviews can make and break you in the film industry. Movie critics are very important in there. So if the critics say the movie's bad, that's why people like. That's why when a movie does good, they post a Rotten Tomatoes score. That actually factors in people going. And people sometimes, because of how we are with time and everything now in such a microwave society, if if they're not hitting what they need to hit, they'll be like, oh, okay, it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? And so they'll move weird like that. So that's kind of like one of the big things you in the film industry is critics are your lifeblood. You're not going to win every critic over. That's just with any industry, with food or movies or anything like that. So you're always going to have some people that are going to be sour. And so you just got to know how to maintain that and manage that and still be true to that in your thing. And I believe that if you know what you're doing is good and you feel good about it, then you do. But also always get outside opinions that are industry professionals, and then go and get the general. But I always go industry first. Industry people are going to give you the technical things that you may miss and you may not see, and then you got to give grace for people's first movies, times, and stuff like that. So definitely when you do those things, those can help you out.